Our oldest enemy is not viruses, nor famine, but a traitor that accidentally awakened within our own bodies. The story begins with a torture session that took place in a living room. In 1810, 58-year-old novelist Fanny Burney unfortunately developed breast cancer. At the time, her only chance of survival was to lie on the operating table and entrust herself to 7 men wielding steel scalpels. There was no anesthesia back then. In a letter to her sister, she recalled, "The scalpel pierced my breast, cutting through veins, arteries, muscles, and nerves, one by one. She could clearly feel the scalpel scraping back and forth across the bones in her chest, scratching repeatedly. This 20-minute lingchi slow slicing torture must have felt like a lifetime to her. Yet miraculously, it allowed her to live 29 more years. This became humanity's first creed in fighting cancer. A rule written in blood and screams. Find it, then dig it out." However, when anesthesia silenced the cries on the operating table, breast cancer treatment only became more brutal. And the person who pushed this brutality to its peak was William Stewart Halsted, the father of modern American surgery. Halsted, he introduced surgical gloves, solely to protect the hands of his beloved nurse. He even dared to remove his mother's gallbladder on his own dining table. But the other side of this genius was that while researching cocaine, he unfortunately became a slave to the drug. Later, he became addicted to morphine during withdrawal treatment. Perhaps due to the paranoia brought on by drugs, Halsted firmly believed that cancer was like a drop of ink spilled on a tablecloth, spreading outward in a radial pattern. The only way to cure it completely was to cut off that piece of tablecloth, along with all suspicious tissue around it. Everything. In 1894, he proposed the radical mastectomy. It was like an excavation project. The scalpel cut through not just the breast, but also the pectoralis, major muscle, and lymph nodes. Sometimes, even the ribs had to be removed along with them. Halsted's method allowed 40% of patients to live for more than 5 years. But almost at the same time, British surgeon Stephen Paget, after studying 735 cases, discovered that cancer cells did not spread like ink at all. Instead, they were like seeds, traveling through the bloodstream to distant soil, to take root and germinate. Paget was right, but his voice was drowned out by the halo of Halsted's heroism. For nearly a century, during this period, hundreds of thousands of women suffered unnecessary mutilation on the operating table, sacrificed to a wrong theory.